Shambho Mahadev Mahadev Mahadeva. Om. Bhagavan said about the existence is that without the second, it's only one. That is the reality, and the reality has to be this reality or Sat, we called it. Sat has to be known. Sat is that which is not explainable, which cannot be seen, which is not created. That's called Sat. That which is there, that cannot be changed. It cannot be altered. Cannot be changed. It cannot have any deviations from its original form. Many things can come from that, but it cannot have a change in it. Those which are coming out of the existence, there can be thousands of things coming out of existence, but the one which is existing cannot have any change. Like a mother is delivering a child, when the child is in the womb, mother is known as one along with the child. After the child is born, the mother did not have any change. The part of her body or part of her mind or part of her anything has not been changed. Has not been given away. No, nothing. There is another child has come, that's all. The mother remains same. Yes, is there any change? There is no change. As far as the function is concerned, as far as the physical system is concerned or anything is concerned, there are no changes at all. In the same way, in the same manner, the existence that what is there can be thousands of things coming from that, but doesn't mean that will have a change. No, that doesn't have a change. That is always the same. Whether these things are existing or not existing, they may perish or they may perish, they may not, they may, or they may survive, they may not survive. There may be achara, anchara, there may be temporary, there may be permanent, there may be so many things from that. None of them make any change to the one which is in existence. That which has been produced from that which has come out of that will undergo many changes. The child will undergo many changes. The mother remains the same. Same way, the existence remains same. That which has come from the existence might undergo or is undergoing, will undergo many changes, because that is not existence. That which has come, even though things have come from existence, that which has come from existence will not be known as existence. It will not be known as a part of existence also. It is known as that which has come out of existence. If one looks at it in that way, if one looks at it that there are so many things in the world, if one looks at it that in that manner, anekam, this anekam, even though it is a perception, ultimately we will come to know about it. But to begin with, if there is a perception, they are changeable, they are variable, they are changeable. And those which are changeable are not known as existence. They are not Sat. They are not Sat. In order to, once they become the Sat, suppose due to various activities, various reasons, various changes that takes place to it, and if it becomes the same as the Sat, that will become merged with the existence, that will never remain as separate. It will not remain as separate. It will be separate only when this doesn't have the quality of the existence as the existence has. So, that is why it is known as without the second. There cannot be the same. Without the second. So, Advaita Siddhanta, this is the principle of Advaita Siddhanta, and one should definitely know this. I think this explanation is good enough to understand that this cannot be the same. Those which have come from there, that we believe that it has come from there, they are all changeable. Why? Because there cannot be a second one. There cannot be a second one. So anything that has come out from the existence has to be a changeable one, has to be an impermanent one. There cannot be a permanent one. No? Everything has to be impermanent. Why? Because the permanent is only the existence. And it has been confirmed that there cannot be one, there cannot be another as that one, there cannot be second. So, is why it is known as without the second. Without the second. The same matter continues from everything. One only without the second. From the gold, if you make an ornament, it is, even though it is made out of gold, it is not exactly as that gold. There cannot be a second to that. That which has come from that is separate. And the one which has come is not that, even though it has come from that. When it becomes that, suppose the gold, the ornament is melted, what becomes? It becomes same as the gold. So when those which has come out of existence, if by practices and by virtue of its gunas, virtue of its acharanam and vicharana, if they become exactly like existence, this will cease to be existing. No? This will cease to be existing. Like the gold chain will cease to be existing, it will become the gold. If it becomes the gold, gold is gold. That's all. This gold, that gold, there cannot be anything like that. Gold is gold. That which is existence. Now you understand why they are all perishable. Everything is perishable, we said. Upanishads and Vedas said there is nothing permanent. There is nothing permanent. Everything has a beginning. So if it has a beginning, it has an end. Everything has come from that. Is why there cannot be anything as existence. There cannot be a second to existence. So there is no second to existence. It's confirmed, and I think it's clear. Now we go further. Swetaketu. These are all being explained to Swetaketu by the Guru, because which he did not know from the Gurukula that one can know everything without knowing many things. Knowing everything from the unknown. What was that? 3 questions he has asked at the initial stages. To know everything by knowing only one. So in the 3rd sloka, Maharishi says, Tadechada bahusyam prajayeti tat tejo sujata tat teja aichata bahusyam prajayeti tadabi asujata tasmadyatra vacha shochati svedate purushas tejasa eva tadadhyapo jayante tadyaichata. That existence, that saw, that existence saw. Here what happens? There is no creator. Means what is a creator? When there is, we call it as something as a creation, there has to be a creator. But we have explained in earlier also in the Upanishad that Purusha has not created the Prakriti. It has just happened. It's a projection. It has just happened by the evolution. It has just happened, that's all. Same way, the existence saw. Here he is using a different term. Saw means it is not that he actually seeing like we are seeing. The existence saw, I shall become many. The existence is telling himself as I. I shall become many. I shall be born. I shall be born. Creator, the creator or the existence is saying that I shall be born. It is not that he is saying or he is understanding or he is seeing or something like that. Here it's only a perception that it is automatically happening. How it is happening? It is being born. How it is what is born? That created fire. The first that creation has come from the existence is called fire. And that which has come from fire has told, the fire said, now I shall become many. The fire said, I shall be born. So the water came from that. These are all tattvas, they are all not material, these are all not matter. So don't consider the water, fire, water and all as the flame of fire and things like that. Tattvas. Agni tattva, Jala tattva. From the Agni tattva, Jala tattva is born. Wherever the Agni is more, Jala is produced. Height of temperature. Everything in this universe is the principle of, is based on the principle of this creation. Everywhere there has to be a temperature in order to produce something which is called the coolant water. For everything there has to be, call it as energy. The language we call it as energy. Everywhere this energy is required. When the water to flow, there has to be an energy. The swabhava in the water to flow, the liquidification has taken place. How the liquid has come? The liquid has come from the fire. We'll be explaining in detail further. It has an energy in that. It has a swabhava of the swabhava of the jala is Agni. Agni means Agni tattva, that's called the energy. If there is no force in that, if there is no energy in that, if there is no swabhava to flow, that swabhava to flow, the shakti to flow, what we call it as a shakti, shakti to flow, or the swabhava that has come for the liquid that has come from the Agni. Yes. And it is reversible also. So Agni is the energy. Everything in this universe has energy. There's nothing which doesn't have energy. There's nothing. Even a rock even a wood, even a dead wood you call it. If there is no energy in that, it will not exist in this world. It will be perished. Yes. It will be diluted. Where it is goes, wherever it goes. Wherever it goes, it has got the energy also. Suppose something goes and merges with the earth has got energy. Everywhere the principle of energy is there. This is called the Agni Tattva. The basic principle of the creation is Agni Tattva. We call it as creation. That's not the right word. That, as I said, from the existence, that which has come was Agni Tattva. We can understand that if there is an object, if there is something, out of its own reaction, nothing is idle, nothing is idle. Even a rock, when you see, there are transformations taking place. Internally, externally. Only thing we are not realizing it because it is slow. After ages of that, it creates a change. So many things in this universe changes like that. Coal being under the earth with certain load and compression and friction, it becomes diamond. It becomes diamond. Charcoal will become diamond. For many years of compression takes place. How is it? Energy, again energy. Agni Tattva in it. This I have explained earlier also when the seed is planted. Agni Tattva is the one. Shabda we said. No. Shabda is the one. Because of that the seed is being broken and the plant comes out. The Shabda is also energy. Is it not? Shabda is produced because of energy. So there is nothing which is not energy in this. Wherever there is no energy, everywhere, there is nothing which doesn't have the principle of energy or principle of Agni in it, Agni Tattva in it. So the first that has been created was Agni Tattva. Symbolically when we said that, when in Puranas they said that from an unknown, from some unknown, Vishnu came, Shiva came, then from the Nabi, lotus came, and from in that Brahma came. You see, it is not exactly, they are all picturized to make us understand. What are they? They are all Agni, energy. See. One is Agni Tattva. From the Agni Tattva, Jala Tattva has come. Wherever there is more Agni, you will find Jalam will be created. In the body, when the temperature goes up, then there has to be sweat. For anything, the energy has to be increased. If you get emotional, body temperature has to go up. If you are sad, body temperature has to go up. Why the tears come when we are sad? Because our Agni Tattva increases in the body. When it cools down, when it calms down, automatically, it is not cooling down. When the Agni is at its higher, Agni Tattva is higher, water has to come. It comes as tears. The tear is nothing but Agni Tattva because of the height of the Agni Tattva. Increase in the Agni Tattva will create Jala Tattva. Everything happens only because of that heat, temperature, Agni, whatever you call it. Whenever that in the body, any changes or any creation or anything that is to happen in the body, Even when you are sad, you are depressed, the Agni Tattva is at its height. Whenever there is an abnormality in the normal functioning of the body, Agni Tattva will go high. We may think it is low. Everybody says, I am feeling low. The feeling of low, whenever happens, Agni Tattva increases. From that Jala Tattva comes. So in previous session I have told that in the sensory system, the language that is known to the system is only to cry, because it doesn't have a language. No tattva has got any language. The expression is only crying, we said. Baby is crying. The expression is only crying because our Panchendriyas, or the sensory system that we have, the feeling of sensations has got a limit, and whenever it is beyond limit, it is unknown. And our limitation of knowing is highly limited to only these five senses. Whenever certain amount of frequency increases, even that also we are not in a position to identify. When it becomes too cold, even if somebody touches you, you don't feel it, it becomes numb. They call it the blood circulation is frozen, it's not there, or it is insufficient. So, the external temperature of the body and internal temperature of the body is not the same, and the temperature which is inside is unable to manage the external temperature to the same system, so the sensation is not working. Senses are not working. So senses will work only if this temperature is constant. Alright? So whenever this temperature is not constant, senses are not working. Whether it comes low or whether it goes high, in both the cases what happens? Sensory system doesn't work. So sensory system doesn't understand what is happening. So the language, when it doesn't understand what is happening, is only crying. Why this crying has come? The crying has come, scientifically speaking here, when the temperature, when the Agni Tattva increases, then Jala Tattva is created, is called crying. When there is increase of temperature, there is moisture accumulated. Is it not? That's how the rain comes. Each and every small thing, even if you hold something very tight for some time, not leaving that from your hand, and you take out, there will be wetness, perspiration is there. This is also happens because of the Agni Tattva is in its height. So whenever there is Agni, so everything has come from Agni first of all. So it is step by step. From the existence, the first evolution that has come out is Agni. It has not created the whole world, plants and animals. So from my existence, Agni has come. From the Ishvara, they said, Lord. From Shiva or Vishnu and the Brahma has come. From the Agni, Jala has come. Brahma is identified as Jala. Why? Because without Jala, no creatures can come. Without Jala, only in Jala, everything has been created. In Jala only, in water only. No? That's the beginning. So we can represent it as Brahma, the creator. So here in this case, who is the creator? If you call it as a creator, it is Jalam, we say. But is it Jala? Is it creator Jala alone? No. Other tattvas are there. Agni Tattva is there very much. That is why they said, what do they say? Tridevas, they said. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, they are not three, they are one. They are interdependent. They are interdependent. They cannot function without the other. It's called tridevas. That's why everything in this universe is divided into three. Trideva, three gunas. Every function is based on the three gunas. Trivikrayam. I think, did I say about Trivikrayam last time? Yes. Trivikrayam, everything is three. Based on the three. What is the third one now? They created water. The fire, I shall become that. I shall be born. That created water. Therefore, wheresoever a person suffers of sweats that occurs from the fire, indeed, water comes from the heat, they said. The heat. Aikshata, the existence, saw, understood the act of visualization. The cause of the world is not the pradhana imagined by the Sankhya's, for they accept pradhana to be insentient, but this existence is conscious because of being the agent of visualization. How did that visualize? This is being answered. I shall become many. I shall be born excellently, like earth taking the shape of the pots, ropes, etc., taking the shape of snake, rope, snakes, etc., imagined by the intelligent. In this Trivikriyas, Agni, Jala and earth, fire, water and earth are the Trivikriya from the creation. From the existence, these are the three. From the existence the fire comes, Agni Tattva comes, from Agni Tattva to Jala Tattva, from Jala Tattva the matter which is called earth comes. You should remember they are not, as I told you, the tridevas are interdependent. Like that, these three Trivikriyas are interdependent. None of them can function alone without the other. It's not possible. That is why in each tattva, none of the tattvas are pure. None of the tattvas are pure. In each tattva, 50% of that particular tattva is its own characteristic, and the other 50% is the characteristics of the other two tattvas. In Agni Tattva, 50% is Agni Tattva. The other 50% in that, 25% is the Jala Tattva and 25% is the Prithvi Tattva, earth. Okay, so you won't find anything pure. Water, in water 50% is Jala Tattva, the 25% is Agni Tattva, 25% is the Prithvi Tattva. In Prithvi, the same way. Nothing is pure. See, what is it connecting? Are you getting something? Yeah. What is it connecting? The first word what I spoke. What was that here today? Nothing second to it. To the existence. Where you will find the pure Agni Tattva? In existence. Where can you find the pure Jala Tattva? In existence. Where can you find the Prithvi Tattva, pure Prithvi Tattva? In existence. So, what did they say? Existence, there cannot be, that is one without the second. Even though the Agni Tattva has come from the existence, but it is not complete by itself. It has 50% of Jala Tattva, 25% of Jala Tattva, and 25% of the Prithvi Tattva is why Jala has come from that. But even though initial creation was Agni Tattva, from the Agni Tattva, how can from the Agni Tattva Jala can come if there is no Jala in Agni? We call it as chemical composition, what is that, oxidization, many things we say that. What is oxidization? Suppose a metal, let's say steel, which is, or iron, which is kept outside, comes in contact with the oxygen, it creates rust. The rust is nothing but oxidation. What is rust? Rust is nothing but a Jala Tattva and Prithvi Tattva. What happened? During the course of the metal being outside, because of the Agni Tattva, because of the friction, whenever there is the air flowing on top of it, every time, it is not only because of the coming in contact with the air that creating the rust. It has a friction, it's happening. Whenever the wind blows, constant friction is there. So the Agni is created. Agni in the particular metal becomes more. When it becomes more, what happens? Jala is created. Whenever in Agni Jala is created, the third material, from that what happens? Scaling. That means the third matter comes out of it, which is known as the rust, which is the Prithvi Tattva. Where will the rust go? Prithvi. And merge with the Prithvi. In Prithvi, that becomes a Prithvi, that has become a matter. This is how the oxidation, even though we call it as chemical reactions are the ones which are creating the other one, they are not creating. Unless it has the inherent quality in it, it cannot create that. If the oxidization can take place to metals, why oxidization cannot take place to those like plastics and non-conductors? Why they are not getting rusted? What's happening? Why they don't get rusted? Because plastics are nothing but the Prithvi Tattva. So Prithvi Tattva. It's already a matter. Another transformation is not possible by that. It can be only crushed, and then crushed becomes a powder, powder becomes the earth, that's all. Nothing else can happen. Even if you burn it, it will become a lump, and the shape will go off, but the plastic will become the earth. It is a Prithvi Tattva. It is already in the third stage of it. It has become a matter. This is why it cannot create it. That's why it is non-conductor, we said. If it is a conductor, then only when a friction takes place, that will be formulated, or that can molecular changes can take place in that. In this, it is being an insulator, being a Prithvi Tattva. No further changes can take place in this, because it's a final stage of, it's actually a byproduct. Plastic is a byproduct actually. It's a final stage of byproduct. As I told in our, after making ghee, what further change can it make? From the milk, in all the process you can shake to and come to ghee. After that, Nothing, finished. No, it's a final product. No changes can take place. It has become a matter, that's all. It will become, now where it will go? Either it will become energy, or it will become Prithvi, or it will become the water. It will not create a third thing. A third, like a rust is being created. The third one will not be created. So, anyway, that's science, that part of it, leave it. I am not talking about that. Trivikraya, we were talking about the Trivikraya. In Trivikraya, what happens? From the Jala only, the Prithvi has come. Because whenever Jala is accumulated, with the combination of the Agni, it has created the matter from that. That matter is known as the earth. It depends upon the higher energy, even though there is nothing called higher energy and lower energy. Somebody was talking to me about it. We explain it higher energy, lower energy. There is nothing, no classification, it's a language only, that's all. You should remember that. Technically speaking, you cannot call it. Energy is energy, is it not? Temperature is temperature. Energy is energy. There is nothing called higher energy and lower energy. Yes. Whether it is quantity wise, it may be 1 millimeter or it can be 1000 tons, both are known as energy. Yes. Right? Whether it is small or big, but only for speaking, it's a language, it's a colloquial term that we discuss for identification of the smaller quantity and higher quantity. So that we call it as lower and higher. There's nothing called lower energy, higher energy, classifying it. So never make a mistake of thinking that there is a lower energy and higher energy. We always say that there is low in energy. Low in energy is not lower energy. What is low in energy? Less energy. It is less, it's quantifying. It's not. Quality is same. Less energy is also energy, is not. You make one matchstick 1 millimeter or 10 millimeter. There are some matchstick आपको देखा होगा. Some are cut into half, broken into half. Even if there is half of it, if you can create the friction, it will create the same flame. Is there any change in the flame temperature? There is no change in the flame temperature. Whether the matchstick is so big or so small, once the energy is produced, the energy is same, the temperature is same. There is no difference in that. So energy is same, whether energy in you or whether energy in Ishvara or whether energy in the cosmos, whether energy in the anywhere, all the same. Then how do we identify? Why we call it as low energy and high energy? When the energy is utilized for a purpose which is not suitable for the purpose of the improvement of the individual as well as the universe, we call it as a bad energy, low energy, bad energy, low energy. All that. These qualifications of bad and low and all, they are only qualifying the utility of energy is not being done in the appropriate sense, appropriate way that it has been created. We call it as wastage of electricity. Unnecessarily he is wasting the electricity because he switched on the light. Is he really wasting the electricity? No, the light is on. Energy is on. It's not wasted, is it not? But a qualification, why? The light is not necessary there. Not that you are wasting the electricity. You are not wasting the electricity. The electricity is not being wasted. Electricity is used properly only. The light is on. But you don't need a light there, you have to switch it off. Is what you mean. So wastage of electricity is said. Energy is energy. There's no higher energy, lower energy. In everyone, in everything, the same energy is there. But only the utility part of it is different. Why did I say about the energy? Is because the Agni Tattva. So whenever there is an Agni Tattva, there has to be that the initial part of it was the Agni Tattva which has come from the creation. Because, why? Why? Because that whenever an evolution takes place in that, it is the Agni Tattva where Agni Tattva is the one which has got knowledge. Yeah. From that which can come out, that which can create further. So, a srishti karta Brahma, we said. So the Puranas have told, I am relating, even though it is not here mentioned, maybe sometime later it's mentioning, just relating it to for our own understanding. That is why we said in Puranas that Brahma too has an age and a limit. After so many Chaturayugas, the Brahma is changed. There's a different Brahma will come. I think we have explained about it. How many Chaturayugas? I don't remember now exactly the numbers, I forgot. After so many Chaturayugas, so many Chaturayugas, Manvantaras and Chaturayugas are there, Manvantaras are there. Yeah, Manvantaras are there. Once they, that table I think I have already noted on my. So, Brahma also has to be changed. Brahma will also change. If he is the creator, how he can change himself? No. That means he is also changeable. You understand? So Brahma is not a Vyakti, it is not an individual. That's why we call it as the Devata. So Devata? Devata is that, it's a quality, which is a principle. Devata is a principle. Where are the principles? In our Panchendriyas. How the Panchendriya is smelling, seeing, listening and all that. Is it because of this instrument? No. There is a Devata installed in it. Who is the Devata? What do you mean by Devata? Devata is that Tattva, principle of Agni Tattva, Jala Tattva and Pritthvi Tattva is installed there. Through which agent we are in a position to listen, see and things like that. The instruments are nothing but receivers. They are not producing anything. The instruments are created based on that. They are only instruments. Otherwise, as I cannot see Agni in the Agni Tattva in the atmosphere. But I can experience Agni Tattva. Because whenever I get angry, whenever I get sad, whenever I get this, my Agni Tattva in the system increases. That also cannot be seen. That also cannot be seen. Only the sensory system will react to it. Changes will take place. When the reaction takes place, either one has to sweat, or one has to cry, or one has to reproduce, or one has to do something. You see, they are all due to the Agni Tattva. Adi Shankara has written about this principle of Agni Tattva in the human. When Maharishi Gautama, his guru, was asked that, people are asking when he was doing the compilation, during the process of Vedic compilations, separating, he is the one who has done it. Then at that point, when it was all scattered and gone out, he assembled it, assimilated it. Some of them has been rewritten or written or renewed and all that. At that time people came and asked, there was an argument on how Agni Tattva functions in that. Okay, and that's a different subject. So here what we are talking about is that Agni Tattva and Jala Tattva. So from the Agni Tattva only Jala Tattva can come. The initial is the Agni Tattva, because Agni Tattva is the most powerful one which can create the others from that, which have got an inherent capacity. No? So that what comes from the existence during many years of evolution that takes place in the existence, what we call it as, in Vedanta, we call it as Purusha. From the Purusha, the Prakriti came, is it? No? It's not Prakriti was created, or he created, he made it, nothing like that. It has just happened, came. So actually that is the principle. Since that is the principle of the Prakriti coming out of Purusha, or the Agni Tattva coming out of the existence, Jala Tattva coming out of the Agni Tattva, Prithvi Tattva coming out of the Jala Tattva and Agni Tattva, this is how it happens. Nobody is the Agni creating the Jala. No. Agni, when the temperature increases, Jala automatically happens. Temperature increases in the body, sweating already actually takes place. Scientifically one may explain it is because of the external temperature and internal temperature are not the same, and when the internal temperature increases, the external temperature being cooled, and it cools down immediately, so sweating. All these explanations are there. But why the sweat should come out? There will be thousands of questions then. So you understand that. What happens? It happens, that's all. No answer will come. Keep on talking about it, keep on arguing about it. Only argument will remain, no answers will come. Nobody could find an answer till today to that. So from Agni Tattva only Jala Tattva, that which can create the other things, only that comes. That means that which comes out of existence, which has got the more or less the same capacity, of the existence. That which comes out of Ishvara has got more or less the same capacity of the Ishvara. The jnanam that comes out of the existence has got more or less the same jnanam. That is why Upanishads have told even the jnanam has to be renounced when you are going to migrate with the Brahman. Are you able to? I am just connecting everything together. You have to connect, otherwise there is no meaning in it. Otherwise, whatever has been learned, how will you renounce that? If you don't understand this, you will not be in a position to renounce the jnanam. What is called renunciation of the jnanam? That whatever you have learned, all these years, all these janmas, all these yugas, have to be renounced when a stage comes to merging with the Brahman. What does it mean? It means this. That the jnanam that has come from the Agni Tattva, when due to various evolutions, it has come down from one to the other, and has become many. And that from that many, if something comes out of evolution and wants to become that, when it goes through these processes and almost become that, what happens? There is no second to that which is existence. There is no second to the Brahman. I cannot become Brahman. Even though this word called, it's not that. What is the word saying? Upanishad says, Aham Brahmasmi. Not that I have become a Brahman, I am the Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. That's the word. That means that which becomes that existence is not same or similar to existence. So that means when you ultimately renounce all the knowledges, all the capabilities and all that what is there with you, then you become the Brahman. But to renounce that, you have to be that first. You have to learn all that. And when a stage comes to a further change has to take place, because that which has come from the existence are all changeable. Brahman is not changeable, existence is not changeable. All other things that has come is changeable. Why? Because those changes due to, as the things have come out of existence, like the fire, water and everything has come, from the existence the fire has come, Agni Tattva has come. In the same way, when the evolution and changes takes place, everything has to go back to the same process. It's a cycle. That is why it has to be changeable, that which comes out of it. If it is not changeable, what will happen? It will remain, even though it is not like Brahman, it will remain in other shapes and forms. But nothing remains in this universe. Everything gets dissolved into. That's why they said that everything has to go back to that. Going back to that, in the sense, it is not just going back. Going back takes place only when the evolution takes. Even the object has come like this. The object, gradually what happens after gaining all the qualities of these changes that took place, the same system, when it is reversed, then it comes to the Agni Tattva. Finally, it becomes the Agni Tattva. And after becoming the Agni Tattva, then there is a disappearance into existence. That's called the final renunciation. You got it? What I am telling is that which is the principle and that which is being explained in different languages like this, they are not different, it is the same. So, you can call this as tridevas. Agni, Jalam, Pritthvi can be called as tridevas. The same function they are doing, you see. And they are interdependent and they cannot be independent. Nothing is independent. If these principles cannot be independent, how can I and you be independent? Even these Trivartikas, these principles which has come from existence, the origin of it, they are not independent, they are all interdependent. How can we call ourselves as independent? Everything is dependent to that. That's why each and every principle is also not as pure as the existence. If the Agni Tattva, it has got the Jala and Pritthvi. If it is Pritthvi, it has got Jala and Agni. If it is Jala, it has got Agni and Pritthvi. None of them are absolute. What is it? It's not absolute Agni Tattva. It's not absolute Jala Tattva. It's not absolute Prithvi Tattva. Brahman is absolute Jnanam, we said, no? What is it? Absolute. No mix on that. Absolute. Everything by itself. How it can be absolute Agni Tattva, absolute Jala Tattva, absolute Prithvi Tattva, absolute Jnanam? Is it different pockets in the existence? No. They're all merged into Tanmatra. It's the Tanmatra, the Sukshma Bhava of that. Everything is in the Sukshma Bhava. They are not in the Sthula Bhava. In Sukshma Bhava it is inherent, it is invisible. When it comes into Sukshma Bhava, which is Tanmatra, which is invisible, The whole big banyan tree is inside that small seed. So principle, seed is a principle. That's why that is known as bija. No? It's known as bijam. Even in a mantra, we call it as a bija mantra. Which is the bija mantra. What is that? That from that mantra only, all the other mantras have come. Bija mantra. From bijam only, the other thing have come. So bija mantra. You see? How it is. Same way, like from the bija, the other things are coming. From the existence, the other things are coming. Is there all the qualities of bija is there in the tree, in the fruit? No. Many things have been renounced due to various reasons. It's a combination of many things then out of that. This is the same. So what I am trying to tell you, that tattvas coming out of the existence and the tree coming out of seed is the same principle. There is no change. It's a replica of that what has happened in the existence that is happening in every stage, everywhere, even in the smallest thing. This is what is happening. There is no change. It's a repetition of the same incident that is taking place. From one to the other to the other, everything happens. It's not created. When it is not created in this world, in this universe, we think we are creating so many things, we are doing so many things. No, nothing. At a particular time, when the Agni Tattva has come out from the existence, some time it took for Agni Tattva to evolve itself and create Jalam from there, Jala Tattva from there. It had to increase its own temperature, You know, according to science, you see, because the sun is nothing but gaseous material around that, which has got that, prakasham, and that light is coming out of it. After so many thousands of years, sun changes. The same sun will not be there. It will create another sun. It will not be the same. It has to change. Everything changes. They are all nothing but this cycle, the circle of the areas of the gaseous material. Same way, creation. What is that? Temperature. Because of the Agni Tattva. These Tattvas, when it changes its proposition, it changes its ways and means. It took time. Like the existence took time to create the Agni Tattva. Agni Tattva took its own samaya for the Jala Tattva to the Prithvi Tattva. And like that, each and everything has its own time for a creation. That's why even today, for everything to create, like from a seed, a tree has to come, it has its own time. You cannot make it faster. Fruits, then flowers, everything has its own time. It takes its own time. Why? It is not because the time has been allotted, it should grow in 2 months' time. Today we say it is 2 months' time because in our calculations we have created that 2 months. Actually this 2 months is what? It is the duration of the evolution that is taking place to certain parameters or changes, and the parameters, when it is changes, it automatically happens. Neither the seed is bringing the tree out, nor the plant is coming out of the seed. Neither the seed is bringing the plant out, nor the plant is coming out of the sapling is come out of the seed. It just happens. Like this has happened. So, this is what the principle is. No? So, everywhere the same principle. Now, could you connect it? Yes. I hope that's all. We definitely should have understood by now what is the principle of the creation. So there is nothing called a creator. When there is no creator, how can you say you are a creator of something and someone? How can you have the ownership? It is something like Agni Tattva is having an ownership. I am the one who has created Jalam. If at all somebody can say I, it is the existence. It's why in Bhagavad Gita Bhagavan said, Mamekam Sharanam Raja Aham Tuva. Bhagavan says Aham. Who is that Aham? Where you will merge, from where you have come, from where you will go, is that Aham. He is only Aham. No one has got any qualifications to call oneself as Aham. Because that is only one. Through this we may be going, but it is ultimately going into the existence only. So he says that. What do we say? Yes, they are the essence identical to the Supreme Being Himself. So how you cannot identify their importance with the importance of the Supreme Being Himself? Teja Akshata. Hey, Uddhalaga refers to this effect of every stage. They are not material objects, the fire, water, or the earth that we'll be speaking of is a chain reaction taking place in creation. So what is it? The Supreme Being or Sat, the pure being willed, may I be another. That's what exactly we said. I created. Here he has translated as may I be another. Same thing. It then became the fire principle, operating universally everywhere. That in turn willed. They used willed. Willed again. Is it a karma? I thought, I willed, I desired. When you call these languages, then we get a confusion. It's not that. Here it happens that I shall become many. It's a conviction. It's nobody telling to anyone because there is no one there. What is that? When I am thinking to myself, suppose I am thinking, I will do this tomorrow. No? Who am I talking to? I am not talking to anyone, not even to myself. No? Not even to myself. I will do this tomorrow. It is only a statement happening in my thought. Whether I will do it or don't do it, it doesn't have any connection. Has it got any connection to it? No. It's only a statement which has come, a desire which has come from within me, which may happen, which may not happen. Okay? Yes, that's right. But why it has happened? Why we have thought about it? We do not know. In human beings' case, we can say it is because of the karma bala, it is because of this, it is because of this, it is because of this. There are hundreds of explanations. That is called materialistically when I am transferring that thought as it is concerned. I am just telling you a simile, that's all, it's a similarity, that's all. Suppose this is the existence and when a thought comes, suppose you think that the human being who doesn't have any karmas to do, he is not living. A thought comes to him. So when a thought comes, what happens? It just comes. No, it's just something like that. That is why I said, I shall become many. In the thought. What is that thought has come means? That means when that particular unit have become fulfilled its own requirement or its own self, whatever it is, And further activation when it takes place in its own self, because now energy is idle. Every energy keeps on functioning, is it not? No energy is idle. Whether something is working or not working, or functioning or not functioning, everything is keeps on functioning. Same way the existence keeps on functioning. From that, so what happens? I willed, in the sense here, he just used the language as I willed. The will here is not the wish and will that we make. It is not that human, you have no comparison to it, since there is no equivalent word for that. He has used it as willed. Willed in the sense it just happened. A bifurcation has taken place. Okay. Now let me think another way. You sleep. When you sleep, you dream. So many things happen in the dream, is it not? Did you will that to dream? Did you will to dream? Did you wish to dream before going to sleep? I will dream this. How it has happened? Don't know. You understood? You are doing it. That's what I said. Whatever is happening there, we are all doing it. I willed, in the sense when you are dreaming in the sleep, you have willed it. So that's the language he has used. I willed. Means, okay, now language you can say dreamt. It won't be right, because the dream doesn't have a reaction to it next day. That is not there. But here in this case, what happens? A fulfillment it has come. I just told you an example, that's all. You did not will it, a thought has come, because the dreams are thoughts, nothing other than that. When dreaming, yes, a distorted experiences that is happening. In the same, no, it's not exactly the same. You cannot compare it. I mean, just giving you an example that how it is happening. Same way in the existence this has happened. So he said, willed it. So it has just happened. Not intentionally, like you did not intentionally dream. Existence did not intentionally willed. Agni Tattva did not intentionally will for creating the Jalam. But it's because of its own function, because its own karma is there. For everything there is a karma. I told you about the pravritti and nivritti. So the tattvas are functioning, devatas are functioning with nivritti, not pravritti. So when it functions with nivritti, even though a result happens, it doesn't own itself. It is what we call it as happening. When I have an ownership on that, then only I did dream. I did created. I willed the creation. No, it happens. If it is a nivritti, what happens? It happens. Even though it appears to be a pravritti to you. Even though it appears that the world has been created. Is it not? There is a creator and created. It appears to be created, but it's not created. It has happened. Am I clear? I cannot make it more clear, I think. This is how it is. So he used the word willed. So you understand? Otherwise it can, because I have also misunderstood why they say willed. Willed is only an expression, so we should not take it. I am trying to make it, simplifying it and making you understand these languages, that's also that no, we should not say that again. Oh, Brahma has created. We are sitting there doing like this and made something. No, that impression should not be there. It has just happened, that's all. It has just happened. If he has now, for the sake of argument I am saying, if he is the one, Brahma is a Devata. if he is a Devata, and if he is a creator, and if he is a Devata, how did he create bad things in the world? How did he create asuras? How did he create ajnanam in the world? Ajnanis in the world, is it not? If it is a creator, suppose somebody asks you to make something, you will make only good, is it not? You will not create bad ones. You will not only create right ones. So if the choice was given to, if there is a creator and a choice is given to him, will he make the bad ones? Should he? I mean, just argument. It's not at all a subject to discuss, of course. It's a question of just understanding of things like that. Why? Because then there is a limitation. If I am the creator and if I have to create something, I being a creator, I myself has got limitations, and from the limitations whatever comes out also has to be limitations, nothing other than that. But here in this case, it is not created, so there is no limitation. You understand? What happened? Agni Tattva came out from that, from the existence. So it's not created. Agni Tattva was not created. Agni Tattva came, just happened. Came means it is not actually coming from there to here. Nothing is happening. There is no karma happening. It's not coming from somewhere to somewhere. No. That is also invisible. No, this has to be conceived. But initially it is very difficult to understand. I know. How the Agni Tattva came from the existence. Can I see it? No. I am talking about the final stage of it actually. Even though we have started now. We have to gradually come. But still I will tell you, having told that much I will tell you. Agni Tattva came out in the sense everything is in the existence. Like that I thought I will do something tomorrow that is inside me. Where is it? It's inside. Has it come out? Can you see it? Can you retrieve it? Can you delete it? Nothing can be done. Having thought, can you remove it? You cannot remove it. Can you see it? No. Can you experience it? Can you make it? No, you cannot. Then thought just happened. Same way in the existence, Agni Tattva has come inside there only. It does not come from there to somewhere else. Where is it? Where is it happening? Even though it is happening, it's all happening where? Inside the existence only. It is not inside the existence and outside, even though we call it as it has come from the existence. It has not come from somewhere. If it has come from the existence, there has to be another existence outside. Come means has to go. If it has to come, it has to go. If it has to go, there has to be a destination. Then there has to be another existence. But we said, there is nothing second, we said. So, now you have to, these are all, you see, this is why Upanishad, when you learn inference, lots of inference have to be drawn. So it has come from means, it has not come from that physically. Since it is, the existence is one without second, even though we say the Agni Tattva has come, it's all happening in the existence only. Yes. Where is the Prakriti? In the Purusha. Where is the existence? Where is the Agni Tattva? In the existence. Where is the Jala Tattva? In the existence. Where is the Vayu Tattva? In the existence. Everything is in the existence. Where it has come. Then why we call it as come, and why the diversions, no, those so many. This is what we are learning from this Upanishad. That is why we are learning. Chhandogya. That is why Guru Aruni has asked Swetaketu, hey Swetaketu, by knowing one, you can know everything. That what is not known, by knowing one, you can know everything that what is not known to you. So by knowing existence, you can know. Simple. This is what he is teaching. Okay, this is the principle. Now we will go into detail. So what he does, very beautifully, Chhandogya Upanishad, Maharishi Vaisambhayana is going from physical. He is telling us that he is telling us to multiply the existence into thousands. Then he is asking us, from thousands you become that one again. So you will understand everything. That's how he is doing it, very nicely doing it. So now you understand the basis of it, the teachings. So now we go follow it. Now it is easier to follow. But don't get conclusion into the beginning itself. In the beginning, whatever is being told, let it go like that. If you really follow that, then only the coming back will be easier for you. We are all going to go. Going where? We are all going to anywhere you go, we are all going to come back only. Everybody is hurrying up in the morning and dressing up and taking, oh, I have to take that, I have to bag that, put it in that bag, put this in that bag, I have to use it and I have to use it and all that. For what? At the end of the day, to come back. चार दिन टूर में जाने का, एक दिन हॉलिडे में जाने का, उस तरफ जाने का, इधर जाने का, इधर जाने का, all the hurry, all the tension, all the jhamela, all the jhagda, all that buying, selling, everything is for what? Just to come back. So if you don't understand the principle, you will have. So what happens? If you know in the beginning, before going to the holiday, you should know also nobody thinks about it. We all are saying we are going on holidays. Has anybody told in this world that I am going to come back? We hai sir? Nobody. I don't think. Everybody says I am going. Where are you going? I am going to the office. Going to the office now, not coming back.
Bengali say
He never goes out.
बोलना क्या चाहिए गुरुजी?
कुछ नहीं ऐसे. I'm telling example. बोलना words से that's all. ये तो वाचो निवर्तन्ते अप्राप्य मनसा सहा. That's all. And आत्मावारे श्रोत्रव्यम they said. आत्मावारे श्रोत्रव्यम. That's all. Everything that is heard. Words. We are stuck on the words, We are all very much stuck on the words. Why did he say that is the problem. बाकी कुछ भी problem नहीं है. Why did he say that? Not even that. Why did he say that to me? वो भी नहीं है. Even to that extent is not there. Only said, why did he say that? No? We are all stuck by the words. Only words. No? But what is the truth in it? What is the truth? That we don't realize. We are very much stuck with the words. Everything is words for us. Attached and attracted to only words. So that's why they said we are all connected with paristhiti, not manosthiti. We are connected with only paristhiti. Circumstances, environment, circumstances, circumstantial changes and commitments, non-commitments. We are not bothered about the truth. We are not bothered about the right and wrong. We are not bothered about what should be there. No. Why did he say that? Why did she say that? Should not have told. We are stuck on that. ठीक है भाई. Will not tell next time. But why did yesterday? Why did you say? We are stuck on what say. Words. We are all stuck on words. We function our whole life only on words. Stuck with the words. What others say, what others will say. लोग क्या बोलेंगे? What will people think if I do that? What people think? What do you bother? Even otherwise they think. Even if you don't do it, is it not? What people will think? What people will say? What? Why did they say? Why? Oh. We are stuck on that. So he said, Atmavari Shrotravyam. Shravana. Shravanam. The quality of Shravana will make Atmavari. Atma doesn't have any quality of Shrotra. Shruti is the Atma's language. Shruti is Atma's language. Shravanam should be, I have talked about Shravanam in the beginning of, I think, Chhandogya. How one should listen. Quality of listening. ये तो हम लोग पहले ही बोल दिया था. First beginning of the Veda itself is Shruti. Shrotram is the first action to be done. We should know how to listen first of all. But we don't listen now. Most of us are preoccupied or predetermined, preconceived ideas before listening. So we listen only half. I know what you are going to tell. Don't have to tell me. This is what we say. I know what you are going to tell. Don't tell. Atmavari Shrotravyam. So listening is a quality. Listening is only jnanis can listen properly. Shrotra, Shruti, everything should be Shruti. Shruti is not a creation, it happens. Shruti is Satyam. That way, Atma Vare Shrotravyam. Atma will listen only the Shruti. Atma doesn't listen anything else. Atma doesn't have any, as I told you, there is no shape, form, quality, character, existence, non-existence, nothing is there. Who is it? It's a witness. Atma is only a witness, whatever happens. Why it is a witness? Because it is beyond the trigunas. Only when the guna is there, then only they will be colored, that the words will be colored by that. Even though I speak like this, you are coloring them in a different way. You have 3 stages, like you also have 3 stages. Like Trivikraya, your listening is also in Trivikraya. One is that not listening. Some sound is coming. Not listening. Second is that I heard it, I don't accept it. Third is that I heard it, I accept it. But it has not come with the Atma Shruti, it's not become the Shruti. In all these cases, what happened? It's only something has come into perception. One is the Tamo Guna, other one is the Rajo Guna, other is a Sato Guna. I understood. When it becomes the Atma Vare Shrotravyam, when it becomes the Atma's benefit, when it is practiced, when it is perceived rightly, and when it becomes one with you. When it becomes one with you, when it becomes the existence, it has to become the existence. What is the existence? Then only you can become the existence. Suppose you are listening, you are understanding, how can you become that? So that's why he said renunciation has to take place. Here what has to be renounced? Ajnanam has to be renounced, and you have to be that. That's called experiencing. Experiencing is not a karma. Experiencing jnanam is not a karma. Experiencing jnanam is a anubhava, anubhuti. Jnanam is not to understand. Jnanam is to have the anubhava of it, anubhuti of it. That's called happening. Jnani is not learned man. In English we call it as learned. Jnani is not learned. Learning is a karma. Karma has got a limitation. Learning has a limitation. Understanding has a limitation. Buddhi has limitation. Bodham has limitation. Man has limitation. So his capability of understanding has limitation. Jnanam is beyond the capability. Atma avari shrutra. It has to be like Shruti. Upanishads are Shrutis. That's why I am explaining so much on this. So that you should perceive it. It's not by-hearted. It's not memorized. No. It's not that. Yes, you can. One can. It's only for that particular purpose, that's all. So that was a different subject. Why did I say that? I said because everything happens. I said, no, it's not that. Vani, Vakya, willed. So it's only a word, Vakya, Shabda. So don't get stuck by the speech. Don't go by the speech. We are stuck with the speech. Vakya, Vani. But we have to perceive it in us. Upanishad has to be perceived in us. So he says that may I be another. May I be another. That's how we started all this. Neither he is telling himself, nor it is just happening. As I told you about the Swapna, it just happens. I am not programmed it. Probably we don't want it, but it happens. But when it happens, what happens? The sarira and mana undergoes certain changes. No? We are experiencing, we are actually living in that. We are living in that Swapna. Once the Swapna is finished, we are no more, we are come out of it, you see. And we realize that it is not real. It's not the truth. Okay. This is how it happens. Why? Had it been known that, we would not dream. Because it's not the truth. So we do not know about it. It just happens. Do you have any control on that? We have no control on the dreaming. Do you have any control? We have no control on Swapna. We have no control on imaginations. Because mind has no control on these sort of activities. Now, so it's just happening. I just told you this only for the purpose of making you identify that things can happen without thinking also. Just to make you understand that. So that's how this is happening. Agni Tattva, from the Agni Tattva to Jala Tattva, and Jala Tattva to the Prithvi Tattva is what he is telling. It has become the fire principle operating universally, that is in turn willed. That's where I started all that, willed. And it became the water principle operating everywhere. Tat teja aichata bahusyam prajayeti. The waters congealed into solid objects and became the earth principle. Not necessarily that this little globe of earth, but anything that is earth anywhere or anything physical in the nature. So it's not the planet earth we are talking about the Pritthvi Tattva, that matter we are talking about. It can be anything, anywhere, any physical in nature. So whenever there is heat felt in the body, there is an expression of liquidity, says the Upanishad. Heat is in the form of many things. For any reason, whoever is seen to produce an effect in the form of water oozing out. The example here is what when you have grieved or things like that, when perspire, crying, etc., etc., etc. So these are the how these trivikrayam takes place. Everything is three now. From these also again further three will come. From those three everything three. That's how the gunas are also have come into three. Sato, Rajo and Tamo. Yes. Action, inaction, unaction. This trivikraya action also, karmas also, we have explained in Bhagavad Gita beautifully well how the connection is. So in that action only all these things happens. When you know the truth, we have to behave according to that truth so that at least we get the path towards we are put into the right track of the spiritual path. And only it is possible. Okay. So now we understand the principle of the creation. We understand the principle of the existence. And I have also connected with the later part of it now itself, that how we are going to end it, and how we are going to understand it. Even though it is not possible now, you won't be able to do